Tom.
I was just gonna say before I actually want to talk about the golf because I'm interested to hear your guys' viewpoints because I was reading about it today. But we did ask people to vote on a poll. Should we talk about that before
Oh,
we
that's right.
get
I
to golf?
saw that. Yes. I voted.
I
Did you
also
vote?
voted.
2 sevens.
Me too.
The final results are in. Just about 600 votes. 47% of the vote went to 2 9 inning games. 38% went to 2 7 inning games. 15% went to 1 7 and 1 9.
2 nines is tough. Ian, you just did it twice this week. Tell the people.
Listen, I played 2 nines. Okay. The first time I came in for the last couple and it got 2 at bats. And then I played another 9. Okay.
Hits.
What do you think?
No, I was 0 for 6 in the double dip.
Damn it.
Fucking stunk. Okay.
Sorry.
Damn it.
Sorry. It's on me.
Stunk.
I was gonna say, hey, make the doubleheaders 14 innings then if we're getting hits. All right.
No, I wasn't. And then this last double dip we just played this weekend, played in both of them. We went 9 innings in the first. We went 10 innings in the second. It was a long day. It was a long day.
I bet you if you asked all of those fans, hey guys, if we cut this by 3 innings, would that be okay? They all would have said yes.
Here's an argument that I had in the middle of the game, and I was thinking about it, Tom. I was thinking, hey, even if we scheduled 7 innings here, almost all these 7-inning games go extras. They're almost all tied at 7. Anyway, okay? So we're going to give the people 9 innings if they won 9 innings.
That's a terrible argument.
No, it's not, Tom. No, it's not. I heard a lot of people on the Twitter sphere when we were doing that poll, and they were like, yeah, I'd watch 7 innings if the tickets were discounted. And I thought, hey, that's fair. You don't want to pay the same price. But then again, you know what else I thought? Bless it. 2 nines is a long day. And then you got that 3-hour break in between. You don't know what to do. A lot of people nap. I tried to nap the first time. And then the last time I was like trying to get my body back ready for the second game. It's
Day-night doubleheaders are tough.
I think that's the one thing I took away from the comments. That was what a lot of people were really upset with, is if you get a day night 2 sevens. People seemed like they were cool with 2 sevens if it's one ticket. That seemed like where a lot of, I don't know how you feel about that.
Guess who's not okay? Well, as a player, you don't care. Guess who's not okay with that?
I know.
People selling the tickets.
But then that's where kind of the road hits the rubber, right? Is that people are okay with 2 sevens if it's one ticket, but people don't want to pay for 22% less baseball.
Listen,
and pay the same prices.
I'm a man of the people. I like the fans, but you're telling me they're not going to pay full price for a 7-inning ticket, but they're okay to pay for one ticket that gets them 14 innings? Where's the math there, Tom? Where's the math there? You know what I say? Almost every market would be fine if they got more attendance, okay? Almost every market. There may be 5 exceptions. But almost every market, if they sold one ticket for 2 sevens, would come out ahead because they'd make it up on the beer sales and the whatever, okay? There's a couple markets like the Cubs where they can turn the stadium over and they're going to lose out on some ticket revenue if they do one ticket for 2 sevens. But most of the markets, I think they'd make out okay on that. Just saying. I'm a 2 sevens guy. That's me.
See, I'm not even looking at it money wise. I just think logically, like for the position players, 18 innings is a lot of innings. That's tough, especially with the 3-hour break in between where your body just settles down and then you got to ramp it back up again.
What do you guys do during that break? We had a couple people send that in too as a question. Like, what do you guys do during those weird intermediate breaks between games?
Yeah, I think that some guys take a nap, try to like rest a little bit and get back in the groove. The other day I was trying to get my body right and was doing a bunch of like stretching and stuff to try to get ready for the second one. Eat, shower, but it's a long time because you basically can like sit there and get tight again and then have to get it ready. Do you guys have anything to say about what you're doing between double dips?
I don't know if I've ever had a day-night doubleheader. Mine are always like 30 minutes in between, and then you start up again. So you just get something to eat in between, and then
they're 2 sevens.
Yeah, which is
Plus that.
fantastic. I'm all in on 2.7s.
I'm all in on 2.7s. Zach, anything to say?
I only played in one, and it was last year when I was supposed to be the 27th man for the doubleheader. And it was the first game, and we were playing the Astros, and I went double homer. So, and I was not supposed to play the second game. So as soon as we win the first game by 1 or 2 runs, and it was like a great game. And like as soon as the out's made, I'm like, this is fucking awesome. I get to kick it for the next 7 innings, maybe go in at least for a little bit. And a catcher on our team, Eric Haas, comes up to me and is like, hey, you're playing. Like, I went and talked to AJ, and I was like, all right, yeah, good one. Like, no one told me shit. I'm not playing the second game. This is still kind of early. We played at 1. It was 7 innings, so it was only a 2-hour game. So it's like 4 o'clock. And he's like, no, like, you're playing. I'm like, Eric, shut up, dude. I'm kicking it. My feet are up. Like, I feel like I'm on top of the world right now, dude. I'm good. And like AJ comes in a few minutes later, he goes, hey, you're in there, and just like walks away. And I'm like, wait, what? I'm like, what the fuck? So like I just spent the next 2 hours panicking and trying to find a scouting report for Lance McCullers.
How'd that second one go?
0 for 3 punches. Go get him.
Sick.
That's about right.
Thanks for the wreck there, Haas. Thanks for getting me in there, huh? Yeah, baby.
Thank you. He like went up to him and joked. He's like, gee, Shorty goes 2 for 2 with a double and a homer. He's not playing second game. He's like, no, I think I'm going to get him in there. I was like, dude.
Yeah.
Let me have the good day. Let me get out of here happy.
Yes, as a position player, it's tough. It's tough to play all those innings. What it does to the bullpen, having a 5-game series with a doubleheader in the middle and all those innings to cover for a bullpen, like it just puts guys at jeopardy, and it makes you throw your closer for 2 1/3 in the 7th inning. And because all those leverage guys have to go multiples to cover the innings, especially when you're playing tight games like that, like it's tough.
Usually you have a guy that eats a ton of innings and then gets optioned right after because he just ate a ton of innings.
Correct.
He'll be down.
Correct. Like we had to. They optioned Killian right after the start because they needed the guy from the 27th man for the next day to cover in case we needed to cover innings. He actually didn't get to pitch, but like
I want to test your teammate knowledge here. Who was that 27th man, Ian? Do you know his name?
Espinoza.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you. I was not sure you'd get that.
We would have had to have cut that if he didn't get that one.
I was gonna say that. I was like, we're gonna have to cut it if he's wrong, but I think
I was right there. I was there like swimwear.
He's the PA guy. He's got to make sure they're not doing anything illegal with the 27th man, you know?
Covering our asses for those guys. Do you want to talk about Tom? Anything else you wanted to cover? Any good screen times today from the Sunday Sloan screen time?
Oh, I had one from Ryan Kreidler on our team. He sent it in after he saw the tweet. He's at 6 hours.
Oh,
I saw a couple like 13s, then I saw like a lot of 2s and 3s. So our audience seems to be very divided.
some people staying off their phones on the weekend. I appreciate it. Let's talk about the golf.
What do we got?
The craziest one is DJ.
After he pledged a few months ago that
Allegiance.
Yeah, literally, he said like, you know, the tour has been so good. Like, I'm all in on it. And then he's like, "Oh, gotcha. Money talks."
Did you see Hap? Did you see what they offered Tiger allegedly? They reported that they offered Tiger high 9 figures.
Yeah. But if you're Tiger Woods, you're not. What are you doing? You can't even play in that many events. You're not ever saying yes.
Yeah.
That you have too much money. You can't spend it all, and like you don't want to ever mess up your legacy like that. Did Phil actually leave?
Yeah, he's playing this weekend in their first event.
Reportedly $200 million for Phil.
Something like that.
They are dishing out the dough.
What I think is weird is like guys can still play in the Masters. I think like if you've won the Masters, you can still go back and like DJ can still play in the Masters.
It sounds like the Fire Fest to me. It sounds like just way too good to be true, and then it's all going to come crashing.
Like there's no way these guys get that much, right?
Okay, here's my question.
We didn't think you guys would be here. My bad.
I have a couple questions. They can play in the Masters and the British. Can they play in the and probably not the PGA? The PGA is probably going to say no. Can they play in the U.S. Open as well?
Apparently, Phil's playing next week.
Yeah.
So they can play in 3 majors.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Here's another question I have. How are they paying this out? Is this like a 5-year deal that they're paying out? Because they're not paying it in one lump sum, right? That would be crazy. They got to be paying it out over a pay schedule.
When that
Is it
200
all-
mil hits Phil's account.
Is it all guaranteed, or like if this league folds in 2 years, what happens?
I think the Saudis have like an infinite money glitch going on with
That
oil,
that
so I
oil
think
money
they don't have
glitch?
to worry about it. I think like if you go into business with them, you're accepting human rights doesn't matter to you, I guess, and you're accepting that you're going to get paid though.
Tom, you're saying you're down on the league, huh?
Listen, I've never been offered $200 million, so I can't say I understand the position Phil Mickelson's in. And if I was offered $200 million, you know, things might change. So I understand that I'm saying this from a position of privilege, but he's also earned a lot of money in his life. The guys over there, I wouldn't want to get into business with them. That's all I'm going to say. I don't think they're very good guys.
Okay.
And here's my scenario to you.
Yeah.
That JY, Jared Young, posed to me and Zach at dinner. This is like if Japan, their league, offered you $100 million, or you could stay in the US and play for $10 million. What would you do?
That's a toughie.
I said I'd go to Japan like that. Said I wouldn't think twice.
I do think it's a little bit different because
I agree. There's different like background scenarios, but it's just like
There's
that's like
differences.
the
But it is
other
a decent. It's a
comparative.
decent comp. And would you say that this league? You know what is tough for me about this league and the other league? I'm going to completely avoid this question, not answer it. Do you know what is?
so
tough
you'd
for-
go to Japan. I'm taking that answer.
10x. That's a lot of money. I'm not saying I go to Japan though.
starting for your Yamayori Giants.
What's tough about this for me is that they're taking a part of the very competitive, talented field that makes up the PGA. They're putting it somewhere else, and now the PGA is saying, fuck off, you can't play. So now there's only going to be, 3 events on the calendar that have the best possible field in the world. Like the coolest part about Major League Baseball, the coolest part about the NFL, the NBA, the PGA Tour is that it's the best in the world competing, no matter what. It's the best in the world at what they do, competing at the highest level. With 2 split leagues, this is why they always fall apart. It happened at every other time that a league has tried to split off. But when it isn't the best of the best competing, it just isn't as good of a product. So I think you're making 2 products that aren't the best that the viewers can see, and that makes it tough. Oh, Tom hates my point. What do you want, Tom?
I would just say this, that I mean, you bring up, I think your point's valid because you look at the USFL, right? This is an example of a league that tried to do this. They would go and poach the best college football players in the 80s from the NFL. But eventually it doesn't work, right? I mean, you're grabbing the top end guys, but it's hard to get that next guy, right? It's hard to get like the second tier of guys. You can get the stars, you can get the Mickelsons, but how do you get that middle class of guys who are really good, who show up every week? So far, they haven't been able to get that. They have, I think, every 2010 major winner, but what does that do in 2022? Phil's 52. They gave him whatever they gave him. I think it's different because they do have infinite money and they can just keep pouring money into this and they're willing to take a loss on it. So maybe it goes on for a while, but it's a limited field, right? It's only like 48 guys and everyone makes money. So there's a cap on like what this could be. It can't keep growing. If there's only going to be 48 guys every time, what if you're guy number 49 in the world? Even if they get the best 48, you're the 49th guy in the world can't play. There's a cap and there's a ceiling on it, even if it grows more.
There's another like weird, don't they do like a team event too, Zach? Weren't we saying?
I
didn't completely read it, but I think there's a team structure to it. So there is like some sort of incentive for the guys to like keep playing even when they're kind of down on the money list to try to help the team, which could make it.
I think it's interesting enough that I will probably watch some of this weekend's just to see what it's got.
I will not be supporting it.
I'll tune in to see what it's got. You know what Tom will do? He's gonna flick off the TV when it's on. He's gonna flick it off.
He's gonna watch. You know what Tom's gonna do?
The evil cross.
Tom's gonna be in Yankee Stadium watching the Cubbies take down the Yankees.
Yeah, Cubbies are in Baltimore right now. We get to see that new wall. I'll have to report back on that next week.
That
And
looked
then
so far.
I'm
Tom, are you rooting for Ian and then the Yankees, or do you want the Cubs to win a game?
I root for Ian. I'll root for the Cubs. Sure. I mean, the Yankees are 39-15. What's a few games?
They can afford a couple
Hey,
losses.
thanks, Tom.
They'll be all right.
Thanks, Tom. Tom's gonna wear his Cubby hat to Yankee Stadium.
Cubby
Also,
hat, Yankee jersey.
Also,
I mean, we've talked about on this pod. I wore a Cubby hat into the owner's suite at whatever they call America, the Brewers Stadium, American Family Field.
That's
so
true.
We're already ride or die for the Cubs.
Love that.
lot of the guests that we've had on have been Cubbies. So Tom's rooting for all the guests we've had on. We should probably have a guest on soon, guys. A lot of people are calling for Morel these days.
I get asked every day.
Ooh, we
Guys
could
have
get
it on?
Morel. You asked who, Zach?
I said I get asked every day. Who are you guys having on?
I get asked that all the time too, and I'm like, I don't think we have anyone.
I'm done giving suggestions when they just get stomped on.
We had
What?
Torque on.
No.
When was the
I've
last
asked
time? When was the last time you gave a suggestion that we said no, Zach? No, can't come on.
Chris Rose. Dying.
Rosie can come on whenever he wants.
I've
I
been
texted
dying.
Ian about it last week. It's still going, right? Ian, I texted Ian about it last Tuesday. About
We're going to keep texting about it or what?
Why don't you
I
give
don't
him?
think-
Why don't you give him a buzz? Give him a
Yeah.
buzz. Coordinate it.
Yeah.
Hey, we
Set it
can
up.
follow each other on Twitter.
Yeah, give him a ring. We'd be glad to have him on. Let's go to the Sloan Screen Time presented by Sloan. Your favorite flusher, my favorite flusher. If you need to wash your hands without touching a faucet, Sloan.
Me and Zach were at dinner night, and we couldn't go to the bathroom because they didn't have Sloan.
That's the right thing to do.
I went outside. I don't know if they liked it too much, but I said, hey, I'm a company guy, you know?
What's the name of that new golf league?
LIV.
Yeah, I don't know if it's Live or LIV. I don't know. I haven't heard it said out loud yet, so I don't know.
Do you think they have Sloan flushers? Guys, if I don't win today, I'll be so disappointed.
You golfed. You better win. You didn't
Better
text
not
us back
win
for
because
6
that means
hours.
looking at your phone when we were trying to get a hold of you today.
What are you guys at?
411.
Yes.
Hang on, it's loading. Probably means it's really high.
Tom.
526.
That's not bad. Anytime Tom's under 6, I'm like, that's a good day.
Well, I'm
3-4.
happy that I told you guys I was up at 6 o'clock in the morning because mine's kind of high.
Yeah, we'll take that
347
excuse.
for me. 347 for me.
7:20.
720.
Oh, I was up at 6.
Gross.
Season.
You even talk to people like you went to
Your
so you went to
girlfriend's here too. Show her some
Yeah.
attention.
I
please.
let her sleep.
You went to dinner with Dakota.
too.
Do you go to dinner with Dakota like this?
Oh,
Just
he's
like-
on his
just
phone
like-
the whole time. I'm kidding. I don't think he pulled it out once.
Thank you.
No, we believe you.
We're seeing. I got to be nice to him when I see him in person. I got to be nice to him.
I was up watching you guys because you guys wouldn't fucking end the game. That went past midnight, and then I was up at 6 o'clock before my tea time for 3 hours.
There's no way that game went past midnight.
100% it did. Starts at 8 here.
Starts at 7.
7.
All right.
It's a
They're almost-
5.5 hour game.
Almost went past midnight, and I couldn't go to sleep as soon as the last out was made, so I was up a little bit longer. Past midnight.
You've been drinking some Parse, man?
No, no. If I had one drink.
He did have a drink at dinner. I had an old fashioned at dinner, and I asked if they put Parse in it, and they wouldn't. They didn't have any.
And then you introduced them to a distributor, and then now they're gonna have Parse. That's a good job. Good job.
That's right.
I love Parse. You love Parse. I don't know if you guys know, but this entire podcast is brought to you by Parse Rum. When I say Parse, you say rum. We'll see you next week for episode 114 of the Compound Podcast. We're gonna maybe have a guest on. Maybe his name's Christopher. Hey, we'll see you next week. But maybe we won't have him on, so don't get too excited.